Will Gervonta Davis put the same stipulations and restrictions on Devin Haney that he put on Ryan Garcia? I'm talking about the weight draining. I'm talking about the rehydration clause, the catch weight. Is this going to be stuff that Tank plans on implementing against Devin Haney? Because I don't know if he'd be able to implement the stuff, because Devin Haney is arguably the A side in this fight, because and Tank also, unfortunately, this is the way the sport works. It's not necessarily all about being champ anymore. It's also about how many tickets can you sell, who's tuning in to watch you, and what kind of performances are you putting on big stages. And when it comes to that, Tank is clearly the A side. But when it comes to, opposition faced as well, and, on paper, resume-wise, who have you beaten? Devin's the A side. So it's going to be a very difficult fight to negotiate, in my opinion, and I'm curious to see if Tank and his team plan on implementing like a rehydration clause like they did to Ryan Garcia, like they did to Mario Barrios. Are they gonna try to suck Devin Haney down, to a certain weight so that he can fight kind of on an even playing field? Like, they're gonna look at Devin and say, hey, we're the A side, we sell the most tickets, and you're gonna have to come down and weight. You're not gonna fight at 140, you're going to come down to 138. And if they say that, and Devin's the champ, he's technically vacated his belts, but let's be real, he's still that guy at 35 because he was the champ. And just because you vacate doesn't mean you're not that guy. And because he's accomplished so much, he has that leverage over Tank to say, hey, I'm not doing any catchweight. We're going to fight at 40. Come up to 40 and then you can come see me. That's what I think Devin's going to do. Otherwise, I don't know if the Tank and Devin fight realistically happens. How do they reach some common ground where Tank doesn't necessarily have to fight at 140, but he can make Devin come down? And how can Devin, have it so he's comfortable and not feeling depleted, but still that A side where he's maybe making more money than Tank, or maybe Tank's making more money than him? Like, we really don't know how it's all going to play out. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because that fight is on the radar. They're both fighters, Devin and Tank, want to make that fight happen eventually. So they're on trajectory to make that fight happen. And throughout that course, I'm sure they're thinking about, I deserve more money because I bring this to the table. Tank's bringing the ticket sales. Devin's bringing, the resume. Going into Kambosos' backyard to get those belts, not once but twice, and doing it successfully. Fighting Regis Prograis in his first fight at 140 and beating him. And then Tank's going to say, well, I'm selling tickets, I'm getting stoppage wins, I'm selling out arenas, and look what I do to every opponent. I got $1.2 million, not $1.2 million, 1.2 million pay-per-view buys with Tank. Tank and Ryan, that did 1.2 million. So they're not going to talk about what Ryan brought in terms of the 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. They're just gonna say Tank's selling them all to give Tank that leverage when it comes to negotiations. But in actuality, Ryan's a big piece of that too. So without Ryan, Tank's not doing 1.2. But Devin has the resume. But in terms of stylistically, this is a great fight. You have two great boxers, one who has the power of Deontay Wilder, but also has that boxing ability. So it should be a really interesting fight. I'm just curious to see how they'd make it work. Devin's technically with Matchroom for that one fight, but we'll see, what opportunities present themselves to Devin, because he knows that he might have to jump around to make those big fights happen. He said that previously. He's not really technically with one promoter, but we know that Tank's with GTD, his own promotions, and then Al Heyman. He's a PBC fighter, so we could expect to see him on Amazon Prime like real soon. But hopefully they could get that Devin and Tank fight. They're talking about Devin and Ryan, and that's a fine fight. But I think a lot of people would argue that that's not necessarily the fight we want to see Devin in, because we know that deep down, I think we all expect Devin to beat Ryan up easily and outbox him, outpoint him. But who knows? We know this sport is unpredictable. Ryan finds a home for that left hook. It could be a different kind of fight, but Devin's definitely going to be the favorite in that fight, and I expect him to win by decision. But stylistically, you want to see Tank in there with Devin, because we know the history of them sparring, the doghouse sparring. So we want to see the truth come out. They've both gotten better. It's been years since they sparred. They're different fighters now. They're different men now. So that's the fight to make. I think Devin and Tank should happen before either of them even fight Shakur, because they've been in that setting where they've been, built up and on track to face each other. So I think now's the time. But it's all about negotiations and whether or not Tank wants to go up to 140. I mean, he's fought there before. I feel like he doesn't really have an excuse to not fight at 140. We've heard him talk about, drug testing Devin, seeing, that whole snack situation. But hey, like, we got to make that fight happen at 140. I think Tank needs to go up because Devin's not making 35, and I don't blame him because he's a big fighter. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Tank and Devin. Should Devin maybe go down 2 pounds at a catchweight to fight Tank, or should Tank just go up to 140? Does it not really make a difference and make the fight happen? But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
That's going to do it for another NASFight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.